A lot of people have been asking me recently, who can help me with this? Who can help in the fight? There's so many organizations, and I don't know who to trust. I don't know who has the right message. I don't know where to put my money. In order to answer those questions, you have to understand who these organizations are and what they are fighting for.
CASA was started back in 2009, and what they wanted to do is they wanted to make awareness for vapors. So for instance, if there's something going on in your town and area, they will send out emails, newsletters, letting you know what's happening. This way you can stay on top of it just as much as other people can. You can show up at public hearings, you can let your voice be heard, you can let them know that we're not going to stand for all this. And that's what CASA is all about, is actually reaching out to you and letting you know what's going on so you can be in the fight just like vendors are. You can have your voice be heard, because when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter about the vendors, it matters about the vapors. There's a lot more vapors than there are vendors. And as numbers, that can never be broken. If you have the numbers, you have the power, and we have the power, and we need to make sure every single vapor signs up for CASA. Whether you don't like going to these hearings, you should still know what's going on. And if you don't care, find someone that does and let them know to go sign up for this and help be a part of the fight.
This is all about lighting a fire underneath each other. And the problem starts with people thinking that these national organizations that we're describing today are in competition with each other. That's the complete opposite. SFATA is for vendors. CASA is for consumers. They have separate missions, but the same goal. Less smokers. More awareness for what it is that we're all doing. Because in the end, if we don't get that information out there, we might be all just told that we're all still smoking.
CASA is also going to be at ECC. So if you plan on going to ECC and you're not a member of CASA, go see them at the table over there. Go talk to them, find out what's going on, let them know you care, let them know you appreciate everything they're doing to help us as vapors fight and live another day.
At the very root of our industry is SFATA, the Smoke-Free Alternatives Trade Association. This is the national trade association that represents the vendors, retailers, wholesalers, and manufacturers in the vapor products industry. Every single vendor in the vaping industry should be a member of SFATA. Every single one. There is absolutely, positively not a single reason that anyone could give me to convince me that you should not join SFATA, that you don't need to be a member of SFATA. And here's why. SFATA is fighting for vaping at the national level. SFATA has full-time lobbyists and full-time support for those lobbyists against the FDA, against the pending regulations, and against what could eventually be the prohibition of vapor products. And it's very important, if you want to see this industry flourish, the first step, if you're a vendor, is to pony up and get into SFATA. The minimum membership is about $250 a year. It's based on how much money you make. And let's be honest, most of you vendors out there, your SFATA payment, which you can pay monthly, is probably less than your electric bill for your shop. Starting today, if it wasn't already clear, advocacy is part of the cost of doing business. We're in an industry that's under fire. We're under constant scrutiny, and a lot of that scrutiny is bull. It's completely fabricated nonsense by people that are our competitors. Not in this industry, but whole industries that are competing with us and trying to keep us down. And the fight against that begins with SFATA.
Now we have the vaping militia, okay? Great group of people. They're more down to earth than a lot of the other places. You might not be as intimidated by going up to them. They just wear black shirts and they're just cool. What they do is they help all the different trade organizations, okay? They help when CASA needs some help. When we had VPX ran by ECC, they helped us do our raffle. They had their own raffle going on. They brought all their stuff over to our table to help fight for New York State SFATA chapter.
To understand the vaping militia, you have to understand what a militia is. A militia is a group organized of the civilians, of the regular old people who are ready to enact themselves and to aid the fight when called upon. The vaping militia is not just for consumers. It's not just for vendors. It's not for media. They are for everything. They want to be the glue that holds this advocacy game together. They want to support CASA. They want to support SFATA. And frankly, with the support that we've seen personally for our advocacy efforts, we support the vaping militia because they support your rights to vape.
And this is just the beginning. This is just a few of the organizations that fight for the right of vapors every single day. There are countless more in states and countries that help fight every single day. These are just the most known, if you will.
So what is the mission? What is this fight? What are we all going to do? It's simple. Vaping is not smoking. Vaping is vaping. Vaping is its own thing. We helped to create it. It was born on the backs of people like myself and you. And we need to fight for that because it's our thing and it is not smoking.